Hello, boys and girls. How are you doing? This is Zafe with NA Gaming. So I wanted to make a video showcasing the Darkist abilities, but I needed them all to be translated. That was a bit tricky because the translation doesn't always come out correctly. For example, 2 spells, they say they reduce like magic power. And I was assuming this was a magic attack power, and you would be taking it from the other players because it does give you magic power in return. But after testing, I noticed it was mana. So it takes away mana from other players and gives it to you. But some of these translations still might be a little off. Though I feel confident I got about 95% correct, if not higher. Some are just a little harder to test than others. That being said, the Darkist is like the flip side of a Taoist. The name in Korean client is actually Dark Taoist, or Dark Swordsman. They call the Taoist a swordsman. This class is going to be important, like a Taoist. You're going to need it in your group. Whereas a Taoist keeps your group alive, the Darkist keeps the enemies weak. They shoot. I mean, it's going to change the game, really. They're going to be debuffing outgoing damage, increasing incoming damage to them, to the enemies, lower resistance, armor, defense, stunning, fearing, cursing, blinding, silencing, and in most cases it's AoE. So the whole group of enemies will be all debuffed and damaged all at the same time. They have a damage over time effects, which is like a poison. There's 2 spells that do that. They have fears that send enemies running away from you, and like there's ranged fear in certain combos. The fear is just game changing. It's crazy. All right. The translations I did were for the epic rank 8 versions of the skills, because let's face it, that's when things get interesting. If your skill isn't at rank 8 yet, you're just not really too worried with what it does, right? I mean, think about Venomist, epic greater heal. There's epic changes your skills so much, and that's what we all look forward to. So I wanted to translate the rank 8 skills. So my Darkist here doesn't have rank 8, of course, but I will be showing the animations. So let's go ahead, deep dive into each skill now, so I can so you can see what they can do. Imagine the combos we can pull off while we wait for the global release. The ultimate. This class's ulti is a bit different, and I've never liked games where your class would shapeshift into something. Honestly, you lose all your cosmetics and such, and for the way your character was set up while shifting into something that looks exactly like everybody else's character that's shapeshifted. I hope maybe Remade can address this and make it more unique for each player. Let's do some color changes depending on our outfit and such. Maybe some cosmetics for our ulti. I know that's a small thing, but hey, let's make it more fun, right? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is slowing down the clip a bit so you guys can see the animation a little better. The first skill here is called Naturalization. Magic attack power by 265% and hits twice. When in Azrael form, your ultimate, enemies that are in the curse state have an 80% damage increase. Physical and attack reduction is -10 for 10 seconds. Now, I'm not sure if that's -10% or that -10 number is not as high as it's supposed to be. We'll have to wait for that specific little detail on release. 15% PvP damage attack increase for that player, so they get attack 15% higher, and they have a damage reduction output of 15% that lasts 10 seconds. You can see the skill now up on the screen. Dark state on hit, so it puts them in darkness. I believe that's what it means, for 12 seconds. Passive effect, continuous ongoing effect, is monster attack increased by 8%. Now, I didn't really go over Azrael form, so I'll go ahead and put that up on the screen at the end of all the other skills. But we will definitely discuss the ultimate ability. So the second skill that you have as a Darkist is Abyss. The magic attack power is increased by 295%. It's an AoE spell, and it hits 6 times. 6 hits. Pretty nasty. Curse state for 10 seconds when they're hit with the Abyss. Movement speed, -150. Monsters are stunned 100% of the time, but for 1 second. When in darkness, there's a 30, 45, and 60% chance to sink into the abyss. Silenced at 100% for 8 seconds, and depends on the darkness stacks. An 8-second silence. Ooh, nasty. When in Azrael form, increase the chance of weakened resistance of hit enemies by -30% for 12 seconds. Can't be dispelled. Its passive effect is skill attack damage increased by 10%. Overall, the Abyss is freaking nasty. An 8-second silence, resistance all reduced by 30%, and a stun or movement speed reduction. It's just nasty. All right, so moving on to the third skill of the Darkist. It's Summon Devil. Magic attack power by 332%. Hits 3 times. It's AoE. On hit effect, if they're cursed, the damage is increased by 80%. When in darkness, skill attack damage is increased 0.35 to 40%, and 30% to 35% to 40% chance to inflict wounds on the soul, reducing all damage outgoing by 20%. I believe that is correct. That one was a tricky translation. Depends on darkness stacks. So if you have a few, like, you have 1 darkness stack You know, it's the first percentage, second darkness stack, and third. If you have 3, you get the top percentage chance. When in Azrael form, monsters have a 100% chance of fear for 2 seconds. Players have a 20, 30, 40% chance of fear for 2 seconds. And again, that's most likely reliant on the darkness stacks. Passive effect is boss attack damage increased by 10%. I really like the this skill, the animation on this with the head coming up out of the ground. It's a nice effect, and if you do combo it with the curse, it does a lot of damage. It's very nice spell. The next skill, Blood Awakening, is a lot different than the others. It's kind of like a buff, yet it does do a magic damage still, like a burst around you. A magic attack power is 332% damage. It hits 3 times. Recovers. The effect on use, it recovers 5% of your HP when using a skill for 15 seconds. So, anytime you cast a spell after using this, you should be able to have a heal. But I think you have to consume a blood impact for that. Recovers 1% HP and 1% mana per blood imprint consumed. Yeah, blood imprint, not blood impact. PvP attack damage increase 0.05% per blood imprint consumed. Maximum of 10% of your PvP attack damage increase. If blood imprints are maxed out at 20 stacks, skill attack damage increased by 20% for 15 seconds. Skill cooldown reduction plus 40% for 15 seconds and removes blind. You gain 1 stack of blood imprint when using skills for 15 seconds, a max of 20 stacks. So you would have to cast spells continuously to get to that max 20 stacks. When 20 stacks are reached, full blood effect is active. Spell power is increased by plus 200, bash attack by 20%. PvP, the passive all the time is PvP attack damage is increased by 4%. It's a pretty good heal if used correctly. You have to be done in combat. You can't just like get hit off guard and then like so you're standing there not doing nothing and then just push it and it's not going to do much of a heal. So you have to do it during your combat. Right, jumping right into the next skill is Explosion, or it's like Lotus Flowers. Magic attack power by 322%. Damage and hits 8 times. On hit effect, when they're cursed, 80% damage increase. And then there's a continuous damage equal to 40% of magic attack on the enemies for 4 seconds, which is like a poison. If they're feared, damage is increase another 30%. So cursed, 80%, feared, 30%. And then if you're in Azrael form, another 15%. That all crazily adds up. Passive effect is all attack damage increased by 4%. All right, so your sixth skill is Corruption. It's an AoE spell. Magic attack power by 342% damage for 3 hits. Now, if you notice, it's an AoE that you don't target. It just goes around you, kind of like the Arbalist, the arrows that shoot out every direction. Same kind of concept for this. You can't just target an area and hit that particular area. It's around you. It has a continuous damage equal to 50% of your magic attack on the enemies for 8 seconds. Again, this is like a poison. It's a constant damage. Their health will keep going down. There's a debuff hit damage reduction of 40%, negative 40% hit damage reduction. Accuracy, negative 100. Crit, negative 100, and this lasts for 8 seconds. A huge debuff. Reduce debuff resistance by negative 15% for 30 seconds and can't be dispelled. On hit, 50% chance to be corrupted. If weakened, 100% chance. Remove a player's buff effect. Shields from sorcerers, stealth from arbalist. That's nasty. There's no other class that does anything like that. That's really nasty. In Azrael form, when you hit you, it takes 10% of their mana. That's, man, these spells just stack up when you use the combinations of the ulti and everything. 10% of mana just removed. Yeah, that could be a very effective, especially with other spells later on. You'll see for sure. Okay, so your next skill is Mara Blood. It's a magic attack power of 352% damage. Effect recovers 15% of your hit points. Hit effect recovers additional 2% per hit at a maximum of 7 hits. So that's 14 additional percent. So that would be a total of 29% of your HP restored. Azure form, if cursed, increases the damage by 80% damage. Increases your HP recovery by 40% for 8 seconds. Darkness on hit for 12 seconds. Target skills cooldown reduction by negative 20% for 20 seconds. And target's spell defense negative 100 for 15 seconds. That's a lot of debuffs. So, yeah, I mean, it's a pretty nice heal effect. Again, it's very situational heals. It's less heals if you're like trying to fight 1 versus 1. It's not going to be that much of a heal. But if you're like, say, a Lancer and you run into a group and you pop your heal, you're going to get a lot more heals. If you guys are enjoying this translation of the skills and everything and are interested in more translation from the Korean server, like this one, let's say for the 4 new spirits that will be coming to global over the next few weeks or months, please do subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below. Really helps the channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. And I would like to hear from you guys that are, you know, what you think and such on these skills. So let me know down below. right, so the next skill, oh man, I'm not even going to attempt to say the name. We're just going to call it Dragon Claw. You'll see the name in a moment on the screen, but it's yeah, it's like Goryongju or something like that. Effect when casting is you're immune to knockdown and stun during the cast. Hit effect: darkness on hit for 8 seconds. If you're cursed, plus 80% damage. It does 2 hits. Did I say yeah, a magic attack power, 338% damage, 2 hits. The first hit has a chance to stun and it pulls to you. The second hit is a knockdown. Or is it first? Yeah, something like that. Maybe it's a pull towards you on the second hit. I'm not sure. Target spell defense is negative 100 for 15 seconds. It's a very good combination spell that you should be using. Since if it's a cursed, you want to do a curse that doesn't have a damage trigger for darkness. So you do curse, do the Dragon Claw, then do a spell that needs cursed and darkness. You do a lot more damage, a lot more effects. Okay, so moving on to skill number 9. It is Ruin. Yeah, Ruin. Magic attack power by 399% damage at rank 8. Own hit effect is cursed for 10 seconds, and their movement speed negative 100 for 5 seconds. It has a delayed explosion after 2 seconds as AoE. Upon explosion, players are stunned 25% chance plus stun chance rate for 2 seconds. Monsters are 100% chance. All damage is negative 30% for the target for 10 seconds. Skill recover negative 30% for the target for 10 seconds. So that's cooldown, a negative cooldown, it seems like. Delayed explosion has a 25% chance to trigger another delayed explosion. Now, I don't know if that's continuously 25% chance, like you do it once and then you do it again and then again and again until like it just doesn't do it happen. That'd be pretty crazy. If in darkness, you have 50, 60, 70% chance to blind. It has a passive effect of increased basic attack damage of 8%. Okay, so skill, the 10th skill, reflux, has a lot of things going on in this, so let's try to get it all in there. Magic attack power is increased by 430% damage. Hits 10 times. Immune to knockdown and stun during casting. All damage received is increased by 12% to the target for 3 seconds. On hit, all damage received is increased by 0.4% to the target for 12 seconds, up to 5 stacks. So when you do this, it's like a beam attack. And when you do it, it hits 10 times, up to 10 times. So you have 12% plus an additional 20%, 32% increased damage to that target for 3 seconds, and then 20% for the next 9 seconds. Target loses 15% of their mana. Caster recovers 12% mana on the final hit success. So if you hit that, you land the final hit, the 10th hit, you get 12% of your mana. If last hit is successful, plus 250 physical and spell defense for 8 seconds for the caster. If in Azrael form, stun if last hit is a success for 40, 60, or 80%, plus stun chance rate for 1 second, linked to curse stacks. This spell prevents invincibility for 10 seconds. Cannot be displayed. This is basically another Venom Mist alternative. Man, I can't talk sometimes. So there's a lot going on with this spell. It's pretty powerful. It's one of those spells that are going to make your character if you're rank 8. But yeah, Venomous now has a rival, basically. So your 11th skill is pretty self-explanatory. It's fear. And when you fear, it does do an actual attack damage, a magic attack power by 275 damage for 2 hits. On hit, you curse them for 10 seconds. And then there is the fear. Players have a 40, 55, and 70% chance, plus your stun success rate. 3 seconds. Monsters 100% chance. This is linked to curse stacks. So you curse him once, right away. So that's the 40%. So if you have 2 more stacks, it's up to 70%. Fear targets move 150 slower for 5 seconds. Fear targets, all hit damage is reduced by 20%. That's the outgoing damage for 5 seconds. If 3 or more players are feared, it becomes a group fear, which reduces their accuracy -100 for 10 seconds. It's a nasty spell, and I think it will change the Valor Wars drastically. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. So to the final skill that's unlocked at level 56, San Hun Mu, or Fog. This skill does a magic attack power of 684% damage with 8 hits. This is like a area effect that's right on top of you. You get on top of somebody and you cast this, and it's kind of like a tornado for the sorcerer, but it's around you. You're invincible for 2 seconds after casting. You're immune to knockdown and stun while casting. The hit effect of fog, physical and magical attack reduced by -210 by 2 seconds. Last explosion knockdown chance. So when you cast, there's an explosion at the end of the cast, and you actually get thrown back, and there's a chance for the player to get knocked down. Fog has 20, 30%, 40% chance to be cursed, 100% chance to silence for 5 seconds. The fog reduces evasion by -300 for 5 seconds. If you're in Azrael form, 60% chance for blind for 3 seconds. See, I might be saying Azrael wrong, right? Yeah, that's probably not right. Asura. I have no idea. Passive effect is if you are hit in the fog, you get 1 blood impact. It's a 1 second cooldown. I think it lasts 2 seconds, so you have chance for 2 blood imprints for that. Boss damage reduction is plus 10%. That is a constant passive effect. And of course, before we end the video, we have to go over the ultimate skill. It's more than just turning into a demon and buffing your other skills. It does a magic attack power of 456 damage in an AoE around you when you cast it. You're invincible for 2 seconds after casting. When transformed, you cannot gain ultimate ability energy, of course. In Azrael form, you gain 40% stun resistance, 50% knockdown resistance, basic attack damage reduction by 40%, and critical evasion by a plus 100 for 15 seconds. The whole effect of the ultimate, you're gaining those. If the hit effect, the monsters have a 100% chance to be feared for 2 seconds. You have a 40%, 55, and 70% chance of causing fear to other players at 100% with a plus stun success rate for 2 seconds. This is linked to the number of curse stacks on the player. Feared units have their movement slowed by -150 for 5 seconds. So just think about that for a second, how much you're getting buffed. A tanky buff, that 40% stun resistant, 50% knockdown resistant, basic attack damage reduction by 40%, and crit evasion by plus 100. Oh, you're so tanky when you're in this form. It's just kind of nasty. Well, my friends, that is the Darkist in a nutshell. I'm very excited to see this class released in the global client. I think it will bring a lot to the game. It will change Valley Wars and big, huge PvP battles, conflicts. It's going to be very exciting. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, peace out. Stay safe. Bye-bye now.
Yeah, you better listen. I'm bringing heat, you'll be a fan when I start rapping way. I'll have your fucking head spinning. I'm known as spit vicious, release bombs and go tick tick. Boom, you blow me, that head missing. I'm a phenomenon, stacking cheese like it's Parmesan.